Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You want to talk about that don't got nothing to do with her. You don't touch nobody's. If you had a production, you had a show, right? That's what you claim. Oh, you don't touch nobody's. You don't touch nobody's dude. You don't do none of that, right? Try to let everybody know I'm not the bitch. I'm finna pull up.
So it looks like the battle of the baby mamas is officially underway because Chrisean, Rock, and Blueface's baby mama, Jaidyn Alexis, are going at it on Twitter. And as you can anticipate, the situation is messy. Jaidyn has been mocking Chrisean over her messy situation with Blueface. And as you can anticipate, Chrisean isn't the one to back down. So she's sending a clear and strong message to Jaidyn to watch her mouth. If you've been following Blueface's situation for a while, you'll also know that he and Jaden have been together for quite some time now. He claims that they've been together since high school, which means they go back about 7 or 8 years. So Jaden is always trying to make sure that everyone knows she came before Krishan and all the other women that Blueface messes with. She's always trying to assert her dominance as the main girl and make sure that Krishan stays in her place. As for Krishan, she started getting involved with Blueface about 2 to 3 years ago. Now, Blueface had been involved with other women because he literally had a reality show for women to compete for his affection. But for some reason, Jaidyn has always had a major issue with Krishan, and she jumped Krishan not long after Blueface started dating her. Okay, let's talk about it. You want to talk about what I'm gonna do with her? You don't touch nothings if you had a product. You had a show, right? That's what you claim. You don't touch nothings. You don't touch nothings, dude. You don't do any of that, right? Try to let everybody know I'm not the one. I'm gonna pull up. When Blueface and Krishan officially started their relationship, Blueface didn't exactly leave Jaidyn because he was involved with both women at the same time, along with several other women. But for some reason, Jaidyn only ever took offense with Krishan. They kept coming for each other over and over and over again. Now, before Blueface and Krishan got together, he had a son with Jaidyn, who's now 5 years old. But he also had another child with her last year, a son named Journey. This upset Krishan so badly that she broke down over it. Turns out that Blueface had made her terminate 3 pregnancies, but went ahead to have another baby with Jaidyn. Not just that, but he was flaunting Jaidyn and the baby all over social media without caring how he was hurting Krishan. What hurt? Let me tell you what hurt. When you told me to get rid of the babies and have a baby with someone else, not even with. Well, Krishan ultimately got pregnant for the 4th time, and this time she claimed that she was going to have the baby. Blueface tried to force her to get a 4th termination, but Krishan refused to do that. Blueface also decided to demean her publicly by claiming that she had cheated on him, and the baby was not his. He said in a tweet, to answer all questions, yes, me and Gemstone are officially done. It's strictly business. I tried it, and it easily was not given before she blizzed. She's pregnant with Notoriety Differently's child, not mine. Rock has had hassles with 10 different men in the last year. Until I see a DNA test, also it's not mine. Well, DNA tests ultimately proved that he was indeed the father. I said the alleged father isn't barred as the natural father of the fetus. That means you are the father. Babe, that means you are the father. Oh, it's not. You are the father. Needless to say, he and Jaden didn't like this, and they both started pressuring Krishan to get a termination. Blueface tweeted, "Whoever the judge is on my child support case, I told this girl I do not want the baby. She's still got time to get rid of it, and she's forcing it on me. So you better make the price right. She's trying to trap me." He even offered her $100,000 to get a termination. But that's not all. Jaidyn also jumped into the discussion, offering to perform the procedure herself. She tweeted, "Give me the 100K daddy. I will do the procedure myself." Saying something like that is just pure insanity. She also criticized Krishan for being the reason Blueface didn't want the baby and compared it to her situation when she was pregnant with their son. She said, "Things were sweet when I was pregnant though. Y'all internet people should be ashamed of yourselves, really." She also had an interview where she was asked about her feelings regarding her passions over Krishan's pregnancy. And she said that she wanted to keep her situation separate from Krishan's and didn't want to talk about it. I ain't indeed allowed to talk about it, but I am presumably more than certain he will presumably keep his two situations separate just for the better, and I mean cross that ground when you get there, right? Well, she wasn't kidding when she said that she didn't care about the situation because she made that clear. When Krishan went into labor and went live on Instagram to take people along, people instantly noticed that Blueface wasn't in the room with her. It turned out that he was in Miami partying it up with Jaden. Jaden got a lot of heat for this, and people called her out for being selfish and cruel to Krishan. Jaden herself talked about how much she loved the fact that Blueface was there for her when she was pregnant and in labor. So people felt like she was robbing Krishan of the chance to have the same thing. Not that Blueface would have been supportive, but y'all know what I mean. Still, Krishan revealed that she was the one who asked Blueface not to come to the hospital, saying, "I simply ain't a vitamin. I went to my megacity to have my child. None of you weird behind people finna come around my son. I am Ichigot. I am gonna do everything I can to cover him from hate and covetousness or anything. His name is Krishan, and he'll be loved and admired." But also, Blueface made the situation messier when he threatened to take Krishan's baby away from her and have Jaden raise him. This happened because Krishan hit the spa a couple of days after giving birth, and Blueface didn't like this. He tweeted, "If she doesn't take my son seriously and make that her main focus and priority for at least 30 days, I'll file for guardianship. You've been advised." Sad part about this is she doesn't know we care about the baby more than her at this point. She's so selfish, only upset about what she wants to do rather than what's best for the child. But also, things took a wild turn when TMZ broke the news that Jaden and Blueface had gotten a visit from CPS because Blueface had tried to force his 5-year-old son to touch strippers when the boy didn't want to. "Son, come here. There are booty cheeks out there, and you're in there looking for chips, Slim Jims, or what? You ain't gay, are you?" Well, the CPS visit put the fear of God in Blueface because he stopped criticizing Krishan and started talking about how she was a good mom. He said, "I trust Krishan with my son. That's it. Nothing else. She's actually very nurturing and good with kids, no doubt, just a little impatient, and the baby needs patience. Can't just get up and go anymore. I'm being patient as hell. You don't suppose I want to get up and go right now? Timing's not right." But Jaden easily did not learn her lesson because she has been continuously mocking and clowning Krishan, saying, "Now, never formerly has my BD ever said he tried to take my kids. Why? Because he never thought that I was unfit to raise them. So what does that say about this dumb broad?" And I recall when I was in the hospital with Journey, I told him since it might be a day or two before she comes because I was convinced medically due to health that if he wanted to go home and chill, and I modernized him, he could. But he didn't. I appreciated him holding my leg. Thanks, baby daddy. It was a great birth. This was a direct dig at Krishan and the fact that Blueface has been treating her poorly. But we all know that Krishan isn't the type to sit back and let herself get clowned without doing anything in retribution. So she sent some strong words to Jaden. She threw massive shade, saying, "Krishanger came out of the Wama legend. Admire or get the heck lost. Hypocritically, the only thing my child deserves is love, respect, and guidance. His mommy will never rudeness or neglect him. I know what it felt like having an absent father or mother. It's one thing when people are loud or wrong, but when you choose to be both, it's something else." Shaking my head. I supplicate for my adversaries, for real, because I'm gonna keep going up. Talk about a comeback. Krishan is growing up right before our eyes because we know the old Krishan would have flipped out on Jaden and pulled up on her. People left comments saying, "I want Krishan to beat the heck out of Jaden." Oh my gosh. Chrisean and Lex are frenetic at the wrong person. How are you frenetic at your man's baby mama when your man is the one still constantly in her business? Check him, not Krishan, and not Jaidyn Alexis over there popping it. She needs to sissy a few. Now she should know the only reason her and the kids are back in Blue's house is because he can't have full control over Krishan presently. Jaden at his house, but Gemstone and Kashandra are on his mind.